Hey, everybody. We are back on the air with such an awesome night we had with everybody last night. We decided to kind of follow up on the topic of last night, which was Batman v Superman, in a slightly different light. I wanted to start off with talking about what this movie is going to do for comic book movies in terms of how it kind of changed the landscape on universe spanning comic events. I'm here again with Keith. It wouldn't be the same without this gentleman here.
Wouldn't have it any other way.
So that being said, again, one of the main reasons we're doing this is, well, we noticed a couple friends of ours made a podcast when this movie came out, and it was incredibly negative. I kind of felt a little annoyed because lately, with a lot of online reviewers, it seems like ever since people like Movie Bob got traction with things like the Pixels review, the Amazing Spider-Man 2 review, which both, the Amazing Spider-Man 2 review I thought was, perfect, but I've noticed that it seems like the more angry and venomous you get towards movies, the more traction you seem to get. What are your thoughts on that, Keith?
Well, to be fair, a lot of these reviews I do find to be quite entertaining, and they do sometimes raise just things that I hadn't quite thought about before. So I'm not trying to insult anyone. Honestly, you're entitled to your own opinion at the end of the day, and if this makes you feel a certain way, that's valid. Your feelings are valid, but I think you might be going at it at the wrong angle. You're maybe not considering everything at work here. You're not giving it as much thought as you could be. Simply.
Yeah, good point there. Because again, I think Movie Bob was one of the best examples of it. Again, I find his stuff very insightful. However, when I watched the Batman v Superman one, it just seemed like he wanted to hate it because it was something that would give him a lot of views. However, I could be wrong, but lately it seems like in general, reviewers are getting more venomous, getting more nasty, and getting more hateful. And I get it's entertaining. It's quite entertaining to watch people tear things apart. If anyone taught us that, it's Red Letter Media. However, when you become that hyped and not hopped up on adrenaline, a lot of the times you'll go on gigantic tangents, hating something when it's simply a case of you missing the point.
You guys realize that Star Wars Episode 2 isn't actually the worst thing ever made by a human, right?
Right.
It's not a good movie, but there are worse fucking movies.
No doubt.
By far.
Right. It's so agitating when people those. Red Letter Media is so funny to watch. I love those reviews, but we have to realize these movies are not a movie version of Syphilis here. They're not good movies, but they're not good Star Wars films. But I mean, I might be crucified for this, but there's actually some good stuff in those movies. There are good things in them.
We want to make sure we want to stay on Batman v Superman because
God,
we're so easily we're gonna be talking about The Force Awakens again.
I know.
It all just comes back to Star Wars. Curse you, Star Wars.
Screw you. Okay. Anyways, Batman v Superman. Yes, there's so much hatred going around, and then people parading around their own little podcasts and stuff to get attention for it. We feel like before this, neither you or I really did much regular podcasting. We did some stuff with Amazing Spider-Man 2. We talked a little bit here and there because it was something fun, but we never really wanted to make something giant out of it.
Dragon Ball Z, just kind of just little fun things here and there. But this really has kind of lit a fire in us because it is so controversial, and we feel like that's preposterous. The reaction to this movie is literally unbelievable. It's honestly, it blows my mind completely. It's like we saw something completely different. I am at a loss. At a loss. I just saw it for the fourth time.
I gotta catch up to you. I gotta watch it a fourth time myself now.
Oh my god, I'm slowly but surely becoming one with this film. I understand it. I just want to live in this movie. I keep coming back to it in spite of its flaws, and we're gonna get into those. There are some serious issues with this movie that keep it from being as great as it could be, to be sure. Okay.
So let's talk
go
about
ahead.
impact. Why this movie is the comic book movie we deserve. Let's start with that.
So I think for a while, and you know, we watch all of these movies. You know, we how many Marvel movies are we up to now?
I have to count them. Hold on. We have
It's
Incredible Hulk. We have Iron Man 1, 2, and 3. Captain America, Thor,
like a dozen or so, right?
Thor 2, Captain America 2, Guardians of the Galaxy, Age of Ultron, Ant-Man. I think we're 11 or 12 right now.
So we're like fucking burnt out on this genre. Like it's starting to like reach critical mass. Like where are they gonna take this? Like are they actually like eventually like double down and like really put their fucking money where their mouth is? And like that they've been teasing Thanos. Like, come on, I want to see that shit. Like nut up and like give us that already. All right, they've been just pussyfooting around, and this movie. I mean, they're so yeah. Marvel is just kind of it's enjoyable, but it's spread a bit thin. This movie is more dense than any of those films. This movie sets out to do so much. This is a ballsy film, okay?
Agreed.
And if it sometimes it kind of gets crushed under the weight of its own ambition. This is a crowded script, and again, this is the script is the big where the problems of the movie reside. Truly, like honestly, and I'm gonna get to the problems eventually. I recognize them. I've considered every single problem I could possibly find. I've seen this film 4 times. I'm looking so closely.
Yeah. So let's go into what the weaknesses I know we've talked a little bit before it, but now since you're fresh off of seeing it a 4th time, what would you say are the weaknesses of the film?
All right. So first and foremost, and we knew this months ago. Months and months and months ago, that we speculated that this would be the biggest challenge that the film could overcome, and that is Warner Brothers clearly put the screws to Zack Snyder and is like, hey, this Man of Steel sequel, it needs to be a backdoor pilot for 6 other movies. You know, we really need to, and they are unrolling these films. They already have like, I think that they're already scheduled to come out. Like they have like the next like decade, the lineup of DC movies coming out. So like, there's like go. So honestly, yeah, the script falters because of that, and the pacing issues, everything. The script is crowded because it's bloated. They just had to fucking stuff this movie as much as they could to really get this DC brand on the ground running. So I mean, shit. Ugh.
That was something I predicted from as well, and I figured it was something that I knew they'd have to get out of the way, but they did it like very conservatively. Like they didn't overload it too much.
This is a 2.5-hour movie. Okay, look at it this way. So about five or so minutes. You know, it ties into this metahuman shit, right? Basically, all they did. Imagine a Marvel credits sequence that they just stuck in the middle of the movie. That's literally all they did. Like like seriously, like, and there's no credit scene in the movie, thank God. Like, because we're conditioned to think that there are, and you know, people, it's just to sucker people into, you know, staying and looking at all the names in the credits. It's a conspiracy, you know. Like, no, only Marvel movies do that, but they're conditioning us to think that non-Marvel movies do. It's insane. Yeah. So no credit sequence. This just decided to put the teaser in the middle of the movie. Okay.
So Liz, our friend Liz Avella, points out that Lord of the Rings was 2.5 hours.
Right.
Good note.
Yeah, I mean, that's a great Fucking, any objections to Lord of the Rings? They're pretty good movies. I mean, Hobbit, questionable, questionable. Hobbit films are questionable, but Rings, I fuck with Two Towers, man. I love that film. Uh, so yeah, the first time watching this movie, the most scene that really was glaring to me, that stuck out as like a sore thumb, that really hurt the pacing of this movie, was the post-apocalyptic vision that Batman has. It's just like, where the hell are we? What the hell is happening? It just plots us in this insane situation with no context whatsoever. Now, that's completely jarring. However, I really enjoy that scene.
Yeah.
Like, as a scene, it's really effective, honestly. I could watch an entire movie of Batman in a scenario like this. He's being put, like, people are complaining that he is like killing just non-discriminately, like, honestly, this is a vision of things that have not happened. This is a Batman that he's become way more lenient on his non-killing rule. Okay, it works. It absolutely works as a scene. It's a great action scene. And the following show, Face Off with Superman, the whole "she was my world," and
Yeah.
like, when he fucking evaporates people hanging from the ceiling, like, that was absolutely cool. Seeing this vision of, like, the monster Superman can be when pushed to it, and it really drives home the fear of Batman. So that scene absolutely serves a purpose. It is a good scene. I will defend that scene.
Yeah.
But here's what it fails, because it's so poorly integrated into the film. So immediately after that vision ends, Bruce wakes up and sees, presumably, I mean, it's the Flash. It's clearly, I looked at his face, it's clearly the same.
He has the symbol on his chest, too.
Yes, that is the Flash wearing a dope-ass Speed Force suit that allows him to be the goddamn ghost of Christmas future, okay? And drop an exposition on Bruce Wayne's ass, okay? This is where the script fumbles the hardest. This is where it completely drops the ball. Bruce, you have to find us.
Yep.
Lois Lane is the key. It's bad, okay? It's fucking bad. They took a really they might as well, hey, it's dangerous to go alone. Take this. It was completely ridiculous. Yes, absolutely. And then he wakes up again.
Yep.
It really makes no sense. Okay,
Who knows? Maybe later it will, but right now that doesn't help it.
True. So yes, I will recognize that there is problems with that scene, but overall, it's a pretty damn good scene. It's not integrated into the story as well as it should have been. And honestly, I gotta go back to they just forced them to cram all the Justice League cameos into the movie. They just said, "Listen, man, we got the Flash movie coming up. Let's have him deliver this prophecy." Just like, even though it's ridiculous and convoluted. Welcome to the world of comic books, guys. Insane, like, just like almost borderline silly foreshadowing. Okay, it just go along with it. I don't understand why. Like, this is getting scrutinized so much more than the Nolan films were. Like, what has changed between then and now? Like, seriously, I think most of the comic book fans of Batman that I talk to do not look upon those movies favorably. People who like movies like those Nolan Batman movies, and they're enjoyable in their own right. But I can't say that most comic book fans share the same opinion.
No,
in retrospect. And it begs the question, if those films were released today, would they be as acclaimed as they were? And I don't think so. Mm-hmm. I think like just our entire something has shifted,
Yeah, I always felt with the Nolan films, this is my best way to sum it up, because I have a lot to say about the Nolan films, but I always kept, whenever someone asks me about it, I say that they're good movies, but they're not good Batman movies, which are two different things. They're good movies, they're good crime dramas, I suppose, But are they good Batman movies? No, not at all. The Joker is not the Joker. Batman's not Batman. They are characters that bear semblance to them with the names of them, but they're not. Like, they're not the same characters. Just because you have a no-kill rule and you're rich with some martial arts background, that's not the Batman I know. That's not the perfect physical specimen, perfect master martial artist. I mean, in the comics, Batman mastered over 120 styles of martial arts. He didn't just do a little bit of dabbling in it and then met some ninja guys, some weird guys in the mountains, and then threw a bunch of elbows. Like, that's not Batman. Like, he can't enter a room and just wipe out everyone like they're not even standing there. No, and he's not a detective. He's not a master, inventor. But he says he has a no-kill rule, which he constantly breaks all the time. So no, those movies are not good Batman movies. The Joker, once you look up that Tom Waits interview, he's still an interesting villain. But it's Tom Waits. So he does.
All right. Nolan films another episode. Let's try to.
I know.
We don't want to lose anyone. We want to keep everyone with us. I'm really pleased. I'm really pleased with how this is going so far.
Yes.
So here's. But I will defend the Nolan films for the same reasons I would defend this film. There is such a thing as artistic license, and if something makes sense within the context of the story, that it's telling, you can kind of forgive it for taking liberties with the source. In that sense, I enjoy the Nolan films to an extent. I enjoy them as movies, but as you said, as Batman movies, they fumble pretty badly. I don't want to repeat ourselves because we went into that last night, but easily the weakest one. We're not talking about Nolan. No, I got Batman Superman. Here's the thing. So yeah, the Justice League tie-ins are not only poorly implemented into the film, they're just poorly filmed in general. The scene of Cyborg like coming to be with the doctor like throwing the shit down, like God damn it, like it looks really shitty. Those, and Aquaman just like just looking pretty, just like completely worthless. Like those. They fumbled hard. Again, this extraneous stuff, not Zack Snyder's fault, people. Not Zack Snyder's fault. This is a script problem, not something caused by the director. All right, Zack Snyder is on our side, guys. All right, don't see this. If you're a fan of the comics, don't see this movie. False. Absolutely false. I know for a fact Zack Snyder had like a copy of The Dark Knight Returns in his hand on the set. Like he just like, all right, let's do this. There are lines directly from the book. That there are shots directly from the book. Like people want to complain, just like, oh, stupid part with Neil deGrasse Tyson. Like those cuts to like all those talking heads. That's a direct homage to The Dark Knight Returns. All of like the reporters on TV. That is beat for beat. Like he's following the comic. If you guys understand, like the reason why that was so refreshing, that Dark Knight Returns in the 80s, like whether or not that's your kind of Batman story. Like if you don't like, if they're plenty, it's perfectly valid. Like, not everyone likes Frank Miller. Fine. But the reason why that story is so successful is that it took the DC universe and just put an entirely new twist on it. It revealed a new side to these previously established characters. That's exactly what this film was going for. So, yes, completely silly to say that this doesn't follow the comics. It demonstrably does. Ben Affleck, Batman, Dark Knight Returns to a T. I mean, like, and not only that, it also channels the Arkham games.
Absolutely.
And fans will attest that is arguably like the best Batman experience out there. Like you truly do feel like Batman. This is a really immersive story. Like those games are brilliant. And that action scene where he is taking on Lex's goons is just that to a T. I mean, that is the greatest Batman action scene I have ever filmed. And people want to say that it's totally CG. Absolutely not. I mean, the Doomsday sequence, yeah. Oh fuck. That I mean, yes, that was animated. I mean, but it was pretty fucking good CG animation, if you ask me.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, that entire, I mean, there was so much actual stunt work and just crazy shit in that Batman fight. So I will defend every part of that scene. It was so yes. This is more of a Batman movie than a Superman movie. It's right there in the title. Batman gets top billing. Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice. This movie delivers absolutely everything it promises right there in the title. Batman fucking fights Superman. They set aside the differences, and you can see the beginning of the Justice League. Like Wonder Woman hops in in the most climactic, dangerous encounter of the entire. She jumps in and gets shit done. Wonder Woman makes everyone look like chumps in this movie. She makes Batman and Superman look like total chumps. She jumps in and absolutely she's first in the fray, and this is very significant. This is I feel like I'm totally. I don't know if you want to jump in on anything of what I've said so far. I feel like I'm like.
No, it's okay. It just feels like, you know, you got a good amount to say, but you know, so do I. You know, we talked so much about the movie last night, but it doesn't feel like we got everything out.
No.
So with that being
only
said,
20. We're like 20 some minutes in. I'm so
so much to talk about.
Ready.
The one thing that's been frustrating me a lot is this petition specifically. You saw it before. Where people are asking for Zack Snyder to be removed as director from these movies, and there's two problems with that. First of all, the people that are saying it, I guarantee you, I have not seen a single person who has shared it. That like, I shared it because I was showing my frustration. It was an example, but the people that have shared this in support of this stupid petition, which won't do anything. So don't get me wrong. I'm not like, oh, I hope it won't do anything. This is just a principle thing. So many people are sharing this, but every single one of them have not seen the movie, which is so honest with themselves.
Right.
It's so frustrating that people are like that. It's like people come up with their own. They don't come with their own genuine ideas. They don't even. A lot of people don't even know what they actually like. But they do know the one thing they do happen to know is how nice it is to be accepted. So a lot of people just try to take an opinion that has a higher chance of being accepted and then just broadcast that opinion because half the time they don't actually know how they feel.
This will give me nerd cred if I agree with
it.
I just pair it along if I and it's anti-intellectualism. I mean, that's what it is. It's like it's the herd mentality. I mean, that sounds completely dramatic. And again, like if you don't like this movie, it's perfectly fine. But just like be honest and just like you just that's your personal feelings. Like it's at the end of the day, like you're not considering everything that went into this movie.
Right.
It's just
it's a smarter film than people give it credit for.
Yes,
and
absolutely.
When I left the theater, the second time I saw it, there was a girl that I talked to, and what she was saying about the movie not only made it clear to me that she walked in not liking it, but her argument for why she didn't like it, she didn't even know what she meant by the thing she was saying, because upon me questioning and challenging what she said, she just immediately got super defensive, started going back to talking points, and she was such a great example of this. I don't mean picking on her.
Childish is the perfect word to describe all of this. Like
one of my favorite parts, you guys in the chat, you guys will laugh when I bring this up because we all kind of have a similar opinion about the movie I'm about to reference, and this is in context here. So after she got all upset at me because I brought it, like she said the acting was hollow, and I was like, people who bash the movie most of them never attack the acting. It's usually the script or the direction, never the acting. Even the people that hated the movie thought that Ben Affleck was great, which he specifically attacked. And I just was like, listen, I don't know if you actually know what you're talking about. I didn't say that exactly. I was trying to be nicer. So I brought up, I said he's a much more convincing Batman than Christian Bale. I thought he did a better job. And then she threw her hands up and got put on this fake dramatic reaction, like, oh, how dare you? And I did it back to her, and she was just, she started getting pissed at me because I was like, is this doing something? Like, I put my hands up and I was like, is this helping me? Oh, no, it's not, because it's not helping me argue. Oh, wait, I guess I better stop and try to stick to the point. But she then said, as we found a different topic, as I was talking to other people, we brought up the X-Men movies, and X3 was brought up about how it wasn't a very good film. She didn't even know which one we were talking about. And she goes, oh, yeah, that's a masterpiece. And then
Last Stand.
Yeah, Last Stand. And then after she said it was a
fan myself, but go on.
She said, yeah, it's a masterpiece. And then after saying it was a masterpiece, I then had to explain that it was she didn't know which one it was, but she had a point to tell me it was a masterpiece. And she was like, which one was that again? Well, if you knew it was a masterpiece, why would I have to explain which one it was to you? So that's what I mean. Like, there it is right there. But yeah, she totally got triggered when I brought up that the Dark Knight had a worse Batman than this Batman in terms of who was a better Batman. And she just lost her mind. She got so upset, so defensive.
Because it sounds so contrary to what she knows. Like, people are so
uncomfortable. Yes.
People are discomforted by, like, something that's out of the blue to them, you know? It's just like, what is this? I don't understand. Like, you know, it's childish, you know? It's guys, it's a dialogue, guys. Let's really, like, let's listen to each other's observations and see if we can, you know, really get to the heart of things. I mean, wow, what a concept.
Yeah. And it was so, she's like, you're taking it. She's like, oh, she threw her hands up. You're taking this a little too seriously, dude. And I'm like, I was thinking, I wanted to be like, did you learn all of this rhetoric from 4chan? Or did you are you being yourself right now? Because we're just talking about the movie we just spent 2.5 hours watching. I don't know why you don't want to talk about it. Why are you here? Like, why are you here? Like, what?
Yeah.
Oh, it was so frustrating.
It's easy to get passionate about this movie. I mean, you and I, like, when we talk about this on the phone, we're literally, like, yelling at the top of our lungs.
Oh my God,
we literally every time we talk about this movie over the phone, we're just very mad. And to be fair, I mean, you know, it's for good reason. You know, people want to just look at what it says on the top of the Rotten Tomatoes page, and they don't want to dig any deeper than that. So yeah. I mean, it's sad, but I mean that's true. I mean, the certified fresh is a selling point. Excuse me. Unfortunately, a selling point of films. You can go into a store and you can see, like, a sticker on physical DVDs that say certified fresh, and that's misleading because the percentage does not judge the actual grade of the film. I don't know what percent BVS is at right now.
Like 29.
20. Jesus Christ!
I know. That's why I'm so frustrated.
A third. So, but what that means is that just less than a third of the critics.
28 now.
Less than a third of the critics were favorable towards this film. This doesn't mean that the other 20 is. God damn it! So
frustrating.
However, that doesn't mean all the other critics absolutely thought this was dog shit. They just could have given it a 5 out of 10, which is an average score. It doesn't mean that the movie fucking failed. It just means this movie didn't particularly resonate with the viewer. But honestly, I mean, there's just so much to this film that, you know, you're not considering all the components that went into its design. The audio design of this movie is brilliant. The score. I mean, Junkie XL and Hans Zimmer, like, you know, and I've been following Junkie XL for a while. He used to do video game soundtracks, but I think these two composers' styles complement each other very well. I mean, this is a pulse-pounding, memorable, riveting score that just punctuates everything. Every character has, like, a catchy but, like, simple and, like, versatile theme that just they all flow in and out seamlessly. This movie just hits the spot for me, like, stylistically, and I don't understand what the big effing deal. Like, why is Zack Snyder so bad? Everything that I've seen, you know, points to the contrary. It just seems when his movies falter, it's the script. Right. You're not considering that. You're just disagreeing with the writing, but there's so much more that goes into these movies.
Well, now speaking of scripts, now I got Max Landis apparently bashing the film too. Did you see that?
Oh no,
Yeah,
not based Max,
I know.
not the
I have
land.
to.
We he was our champion for Star
I
Wars.
know he was. I loved his points about Ray because I mean, don't forget he's a sexist because oh, it's
He
just
stabbed Jesse Eisenberg in the back after American Ultra.
yep.
He's like,
He
you failed me, Eisenberg.
I was
That
waiting
movie
right.
flopped.
He had excellent points about Ray's character, about how she's just amazing at everything. Um,
Oh,
but
Star Wars, no. No, that is a story for another time.
yeah, I sorry, yeah,
Story
but
for another time.
apparently Max now has stuff to say about this movie, about
Oh,
how he's making fun of the fact that a bunch of tough guys are beating up on like nerds and stuff, and it was
I
like, how
can't
does is that what you got from it?
I can't defend Max. He is, he literally he is actual Lex Luthor. He's real. I mean, look at him. Look at how he fucking dresses. Look at his fucking. I don't. I don't. Yeah, I mean that I would never discriminate. That's a shallow reason. But he thinks he's so goddamn special. Hey, my dad made three
Hold on.
Legos. Fuck you.
Yeah.
Fuck you, Max. God, Chronicle was pretty good.
I'm on Red Letter Media now to make sure that these guys give me good reviews after this. God,
Yeah,
I
but
was
let's get back on track. Let's get back
yeah.
on track. Let's start getting. So I was talking about Wonder Woman, and people want to say, and I agree. I could have used another scene or two of Wonder Woman, and we will probably get that in this director's cut. I
And
mean,
also we have a movie coming out. And
yes, the teaser. They're going at this like gangbusters. Suicide Squad, Wonder Woman, Lego Batman. I mean that's not the same universe, but you know
yeah,
what I mean.
yep,
Like DC is really unloading on its brand right now, and I actually like I damn like they actually are. I think they are going at this the right way, and unfortunately, it does make the script suffer in this film. But it just had to be done. Sure, it could have been a little bit better. It is not a perfect film by any stretch. But anyway, I'm gonna get back to what this film gets right, and getting to Wonder Woman. Like I said, she just makes them look like idiots throughout. If you look at the action, she's fighting like a gladiator. It is like Clash of the Titans. It is so appropriate for the character. She just looks fantastic in action. I'm really looking forward to her movie. I mean, again, Gal Gadot, Israeli actress. Come on, guys, female person of color. Come on, how can you not be behind this? What is your like internet? Make up your goddamn mind.
yeah,
Like seriously, wow. I loved her in this movie, and this has major implications for the genre. I mean, this is the first time a female character can hang with the boys, and not only that, make them look like idiots. She gets down to business. She is the hero that Batman and Superman should aspire to be. you know,
yeah,
she's kind of like guiding them to become the Justice League. I don't get why people don't see that.
yeah. I dug her a lot. Her reveal, um, I've said in the last part of our review, was one of the highlights of the movie. There was one person earlier that was trying to say like, oh no, no one got excited for that part at all, and I was like, you're just giving a negative connotation to everything in this film. That part was awesome. I challenge anyone to look at that exact scene where she jumps in and try to say that was not awesome. I challenge anyone to say that was not. Just lie to me. Go ahead and lie to me.
I'm gonna defend the CG to the death. Like seriously, those shots that follow them when they like leap great distances when she lunges forward, it gives you such a genuine sense of momentum. It is
Yep.
actually it looks great. It is seamless. There's that scene where like if Superman gets like thrown like through a building and like it zooms out and he just like charging up his eye lasers. Like shit, it looks fantastic in
So
motion. I mean,
we got a
wow.
comment from Liz. He says, Wonder Woman is already getting bashed for quote unquote whitewashing, which, if that's true, that's hysterical.
Demonstrably false.
I'd
Demonstrably false. Yeah.
love to see an article for that if you can get that, Liz. I want to see some proof of that because that is hysterical.
Guys, I mean, come on. Wonder Woman, daughter of Zeus, Greek, Israeli, same neck of the woods. Like seriously, it is wow. It is It's close enough. I love it. I absolutely love. They're already like Cyborg. They're going in. Yes, yes. Black guy. Yes, already. Like they're just now coming out with a damn like how long did it take to like get the release date announced for Black Panther, right? Like how
Right.
long did that take that to do? They've already just like boom, Cyborg right out of the gate. Okay, Jewish Flash.
Yeah.
Yes, Jewish. Wow, 2016 even, and Pacific Islander Aquaman. Come on, guys, come on. Let's all. It's 2016, people.
Yep.
But I digress. Yes. All kidding aside. Yeah, I don't understand why people just. I mean, the Superman, sure. Should have gotten more lines. Absolutely, I agree with that. Henry Cavill is a great actor, but here's the thing: he is so good at emoting with just his eyes and he just seriously he's really good. Like I'm reminded, like it's like I guess it's like some people don't like Ryan Reynolds. I mean, I'm sorry, not Ryan Reynolds, Ryan Gosling. Ryan Gosling's style of acting, like he's kind of like plays like these sort of like dopey, borderline
Gangster guy.
autistic characters.
Yeah.
People want to say that's non-acting, and I want to say, no, well, if you look at his eyes, if you focus on like the subtleties of his body language or like what he's doing, there's actually a lot going on in his performance. So yeah, I feel the same way about Henry Cavill. Even though he does not have enough lines, he leaves an impression. I really don't see what people are talking about.
And also, let's address this big thing people are complaining about. I actually had a couple of new ideas about. There's actually that Forbes article he shared. There was a good way to look at the Batman scene where he was when the word Martha was brought up, because people are looking. They're not looking far enough into why Batman relented.
First off, and I want to say it clearly, Superman does not just say Martha. Okay, he says you're letting him kill Martha. Okay. Yep. Think about how that would trigger Batman. He in a way still blames himself for his parents' deaths. He wishes so badly he could have saved them. He could have done. He didn't do anything. So yeah, him hearing you're letting them kill Martha, like absolutely, that's going to make him pause and like really make him consider humanizing Superman for a moment. Just like realizing, just like, okay, he's deciding in that moment that he is no longer a threat. Right. that was all he needed. Even though he's like, why did you say that name? It makes sense. He doesn't know. He doesn't. I mean, how is he supposed to? He might think that Superman can read his goddamn mind. Like he doesn't know. He doesn't know why Superman would say that name. Well, it's a legitimate thing to say. Like, why is that so goddamn funny?
On top of it, another way to look at it too is after everything that Batman has seen from Clark, he's only seen the ugliness from him. He's only seen the things from Superman that scare him. And above anything else, one of the last things, because he always talked about you're not a man, you're not human. Being brave is being a man. When he heard Lois say it's, that's his mother, that's part of when the gears were turning. When he realized, oh no, he has a mother. Maybe he is human. And while he was deducing who he was fighting the whole time, that was part of it. He realized this person has a mom.
Right.
This person was raised a human. He was one of us.
God, it is just wow. I don't know how people are missing that. These are the challenges Batman and Superman have to become, have to overcome, to become the Justice League. Okay, this is, I would argue, people are saying this is not Superman. Superman doesn't scowl. He's not, he's always willing to save the day unconditionally with a smile. And I would argue, I mean, if you are paying attention, that Superman is, you see a glimpse of that Superman in the final, right before he sacrifices himself. He learns the value of self-sacrifice. You know, he learns to love the world as he loves Lois Lane, and he smiles. Okay, for like one, probably like the first time in the movie, he smiles and he says, "This is my world. You are my world," and you know it has impact. You know, in that moment, Clark Kent and Kal-El have died, and Superman is ready to be born. You know, that's why this is significant.
Yeah.
I don't see. I mean, am I making this up? Like, does this make sense? Am I? I feel like I'm taking crazy pills.
Yeah.
I've seen the film 4 times. All right, there's a lot to absorb. It's super dense. Again, it hurts. The script being a crowded, convoluted mess. Yes, absolutely. It is a strike. It is a strike and a half for me. Right now it is. If I had to give it a score, it's like a solid 8.5 to a 9. Like it's in that air. It's like in that realm. It's just shy of iconic. Like I think of the iconic films. I think of like Mad Max Fury Road, the original Matrix. I think of like just like what do you think of the first film that come to mind when you think of action blockbuster? All right, this is just shy of that. It is held back by a crowded script. All right, and I think that's just an accurate summation of the film's problems. I mean, I'm trying to think. The script definitely does make shortcuts, as we've pointed out. Why haven't I seen these before?
Yeah. Yeah.
No, we'll get to the bottom of it.
Right. So that being said, that is one of the big things that the people complained a lot about. Oh yeah, they just had the same mom's name. Okay, no. We could do that with a lot of important parts in a lot of films and simplify them, and do the exact same thing. You're being purposely facetious, or you're not. That's a complex scene that people are either deliberately being ignorant of or pretending to be ignorant of, or they are ignorant of. And I think a lot of it is deliberate because they just want a reason to hate the movie. So they're going to look for a reason to hate the movie. Mm-hmm. And that, to be honest, that's all they're doing is proving how their opinion doesn't have quite a lot of weight, because they're not looking to judge it. They're just looking to hate it. And those are two very different things.
People just don't like the idea that this is it's changing up the formula the same way Dark Knight Returns changed up the formula. I mean, I don't understand like why that is revered as, I mean, people love that story. It's the most legendary Batman story of all time, arguably. The animated movie was freaking awesome. It's one of my all-time favorites. That and Watchmen are my favorite graphic novels. They're just, yeah, I love them. But yeah, this totally nailed the flavor of that. I don't see how you can be a fan of that comic and not be a fan of this movie. It's the same anti-artistic license mentality that buried Tim Burton's Superman Lives. Yeah. That movie could have really fucked around with what defines Superman, but I still want to see that movie.
Yeah, if you don't give me 1 second though, I'll be back in about maybe like a few minutes. I'm gonna do a different thing to mute the mic so we don't have the same problem from last time. I don't know why it happened in the last podcast, but I'll be back in like maybe 3 minutes.
All right, so but I'm gonna keep going then.
Oh yeah, go ahead,
right,
man.
Cool,
take a look at the comments.
I would like to talk about Superman Lives. This would be great.
Go ahead, man. I'll be right back.
So yeah, Superman Lives. It was gonna be this movie. Tim Burton was gonna do this movie, Superman Lives, in the late '90s. I think Kevin Smith did one of the original drafts of the script, and it was gonna star Nick Cage as Superman and Christopher Walken as Brainiac, and it was going to be insanely awesome, just intensely visual, just filled with all sorts of crazy aliens. And it too was going to take heavy inspiration from the Death of Superman arc from the comics. Okay, guys, I know my shit. Okay, you guys, if you're a comic book fan, you can't like this movie, guys. eat my goddamn balls. Wow, like he's there. I'm here. I'm gonna put them right there. There they are. I'm just kidding. Anyway, I digress. This movie it took risks. And yeah, sure. If you don't agree with the risks, that's fine. You don't have to like this movie. I'm not telling you you have to like this movie. Those are your personal feelings, though. You're kind of refusing to accept that this movie can change up the formula a little bit. It's very disappointing. It's very disappointing that creativity is discouraged. I mean, at the end of the day, the Marvel films, a lot of Disney Marvel films play it safe. They all follow a specific mold because they are. I mean, I'm not trying to knock what Marvel's doing. What they do is good. Their movies are reasonably fun to watch, and it's cool that they have this awesome overarching story. But yeah, very rarely do films in these phases stick out. That's why Guardians of the Galaxy was so refreshing, because okay, we're away from Earth. We're seeing all these insane new worlds and aliens. We're just it has its own this soundtrack is unique, like it's its own thing, and that's why I like that movie. It's a pretty damn good comic book movie in my eyes. Although I personally I could just watch a Rocket and Groot movie. They should just do a straight up standalone Rocket and Groot. Just saying. Anyway, shit. Rob's not. Is Rob still? You there, Rob? Rob? Gotta see if he's still good. Yeah, Superman Lives. I wanted to see that movie. Brainiac was gonna be like a spider, like a mechanical spider. It's gonna be like Christopher Walken's head, like in a giant flowing cape. And he's just kind of like, he's got the cape on the whole movie, and at the end, the cape goes off, and he's just like this crazy mechanical thing. He was gonna, yeah, no, I would have loved to have seen that movie, and I think, yeah, this Batman versus Superman, it dares to go to new places. And if there's any criticisms, if there's any flaws with it, it's that it sometimes is crushed under its own ambition, as I've stated. Now, people are quick to say this film is completely humorous. I'm sorry, humorless. Humorless and completely bleak. And again, got to put you to task on that. There's plenty of self-awareness and humor in this movie. You clearly are not paying attention. People are complaining in the credits like that. The reporter that gets shot in the beginning is Jimmy Olsen. What the fuck? Like, guys, the reason why people complain it's because people bitched and moaned, just like, where was Jimmy Olsen? Man of Steel, where is he? And just like Zack Snyder, just here he is, bitch, and just shoots him in the head. It's literally, that is self-aware. I guarantee you that has to be the goddamn joke. Perry White is hilarious. Lawrence Fishburne totally knocks it out of the park. Crime wave in Gotham. In other breaking news, water wet. This movie has lines, man. This movie has some good goddamn lines. Oh, hey there.
Hey, it worked. Awesome.
I was just talking about how this movie actually did have a fair share of humor. I think if people are saying that this movie does not have an ounce of self-awareness or jokes or at all, that they're just wrong. Alfred is very sassy. He's hilarious.
Oh, yeah.
But he's not just there for the jokes either. He lays some heavy shit. He says some important things to the story. The whole way it starts with the fever, the rage, the feeling of powerlessness that turns good men cruel. like yeah. Oh, yeah. Absolutely. It is a point made in the story that Batman has lost his way.
Yeah.
He literally says it. Like, why is this such a point of contention with people? It is addressed. Did you miss it? Like, I did I see a different movie?
Right. And again, people are either deliberately or unintentionally foregoing important lines in the movie. I guess this isn't like and I guess not saying Avengers movies are bad, but in the Avengers there's a lot of dialogue that, to be honest, if you missed it, no big deal.
Oh
But
yeah, no. A lot of what happens in the Avengers is no big goddamn deal. I mean,
right.
the stakes felt so much higher in this. And but there are like some people who will say that it felt like there were no stakes in this movie. Like that's probably because they know just like, oh, Batman's not gonna kill Superman. They work it out. Like, sure, yeah. If you want to like make that argument, I mean, one, you're an idiot. But yeah, you're missing the point. People are completely misunderstand. They just don't understand what they were going for. I've seen this film 4 goddamn times. I'm gonna see it again. I want to see it number 5 in D-Box.
I'll see it probably. I'll be like, I'm busy for this whole week. I got this show thing I'm doing, but I'm just it's
despite
I got to be gone all week, but I wish I could. And next week, I think you and I, I think we gotta.
Oh yeah, we gotta like invite people. Like seriously,
Yes.
like I think what's gonna keep this movie going. And yes, it had a fantastic opening and a significant drop off. But here's the thing, I think it's going to stay in theaters for a while. I think people are.
I hope so.
I think people are gonna keep coming to see. I think like seriously, like we're word of mouth. Just like ask the average, just stop like reading your goddamn think piece articles, just goddamn. Oh my god, these pseudo intellectuals who think just like I know comic books. I actually read them.
like do they read them so they can tell people they read them, or do they read them because they're fun? Because I don't like to brag about how many comics I own and the ones that I've read. I prefer to just talk about them. And like I was saying this earlier, like people have this whole stupid nerd cred thing they talk about. Like, they try to explain to me how much, like, oh, I've read all the comics. And it's just like, here's the way I read it. Because I know the way they want me to see it is this. They go, they're probably thinking I'm going to go, oh, wow, he told me he's read all the comics. I guess I'm going to have to, believe him here. No, here's what I think. When you say you've read all the comics, I'm now going to be hyper attentive to any mistakes you're going to make about information regarding the characters, because I'm assuming you're full of shit. Like, I'm going to assume you're full of shit, because if you actually
take
read
it easy
comics,
now, Rob.
I judge I'll judge your knowledge of something based on the content of of your points. Like, the content of your points is what's going to give me the ability to judge your insight on these characters. If you have to tell me, if you got to sell me on how much you know about this, then you probably don't know jack. Or you go on YouTube, you watch some cartoons, so I got the article actually about whitewashing. I'm really curious to see this.
And I was really glad to see that article from Forbes. I'm seeing, as time's going by, I'm seeing more positive word just like creeping out, but it doesn't matter. That initial blow of like Rotten Tomato, it just like the bell has rung. It cannot be unrung.
Oh, here we go. Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. It says it's people on Twitter who are yelling about the white people in Wonder Woman. I'm looking at it right now. Yep, it's accusing them of whitewashing Wonder Woman, and I don't know the other actors or actresses in Wonder Woman, but
unwhitewashed.
Let's start with the title
If
character,
anything,
really.
If anything, I swear to God, oh my God, she was awesome. It was like Xena Warrior Princess, man. She just was confident. She came in and like people will like. I think I haven't watched the Red Letter Media thing. I don't think I could really stomach it, honestly. Just everything that I've read, but like they took major issue, just like, oh, this is our strong female character. She just like jumps in and does all this ridiculous shit, and that's supposed to be our strong female character. It's like, guys, this is a comic book movie. With I mean, I've already stated this is significant that that a girl, a lady, okay, the Wonder Woman can step up as with the boys. She is arguably, she's ahead of Batman and Superman right there. She comes in with her fucking lasso, her sword and shield. She just is awesome. Yep. I think the Trinity really did come together in that scene for me. Lasso, the kryptonite grenade. He comes in with the spear. I really thought it just all came together. It all made sense. Like
But yeah, Gal Gadot. Don't forget Gal Gadot. She's apparently white because people were so hypercritical of this new DC universe that they will judge a book by its cover, which is inherently racist because
right.
like you're oh look they're whitewashing. Okay, thanks for calling Gal Gadot not as real.
So yeah, let's try to like. I mean, is there anything like I mean I know I just saw it and it's fresh in my mind, but is there anything? Have you come to any new realizations about this movie after thinking about it? Like, is there anything that you would like to add to like what this movie really did right?
Not really, because I mean the last podcast really broke. We spoke for 3 hours about it.
Yeah, we did. We really did.
I'm glad we managed to get a lot out, but I think this for me.
Yeah.
This for me is more about this is more about what's going on socially regarding how people are treating this film.
True. Yeah,
that's what I have more to talk about.
Yeah. No. It is important. I mean, I will. I've already said a lot about the film. Clearly, I like it. I mean, like, if you don't like it, nothing I say is going to change your mind. I think I've stated I've made a pretty strong case for this movie. I know its flaws. It's shy of perfect. I would say 8.5. Solid. It is a solid. It's just shy of great. We really want to push back. We really want to. What was that? I hear a buzz. Wow. What's going on? Rob?
Not sure. I'm not hearing anything right now myself. You there?
I'm hearing something. I don't know if anyone else can hear it.
I don't hear anything.
People someone say something in the chat, please. Oh yeah. God, it might be my computer.
I'm gonna mute myself real quick and listen to the feed. Hold on.
Yeah, no, it sounds like those sounds were coming through. Someone getting tasered. Yep, they heard it too.
I just heard it myself. I don't know what's going on.
Wow. You have to find it was the Flash. He was delivering a message. Rob, Keith, you have to save the movie.
You have to save the movie.
Your Google Hangout is the key. You have
yeah. I've come too soon.
You have to save Zack Snyder.
Yeah.
They're gonna nail Zack Snyder to the cross. I don't understand.
They're acting like he's Uwe Boll or some shit.
He seems like a perfectly nice, knowledgeable guy. I've watched all the behind the scenes stuff with him and listened to his commentaries. I don't see why people are so hard on this guy. It's just because it's just a dumb, trendy thing to do.
Right.
It proved to me that he is inept. Seriously, convince me. Like, honestly, like I said, my challenge still stands. If you saw Batman versus Superman and really hated it, I urge you just see it a second time, go at it a second time, and if you truly if you hate it just as much or even more, I don't know what to say to you. Like, explain to me why I'm wrong. I'll reimburse you. I'll send you a goddamn gift card in the mail. For you wasting your precious time and money on this terrible movie. But yeah, I'm serious. Like, serious. Wow, Keith. You don't even love this movie. You don't. Why are you going off the rails? It's because the reaction has been so crazy.
Right. I don't want to see this, and we've said it before, and I don't want to see this cinematic universe be stifled because of this completely disproportionate reaction between the people that I'm very happy to say it does seem like a good majority of those who actually saw the film, more importantly, those who follow the comics, love the film, which I'm so happy to say. The viewers were not really swayed by the critics. It's not a complete disaster. That is refreshing. Right. The majority, which is so it's great. It really is great that most people I talk to about this film, most people I know, old friends, new friends, they all they all pretty much like the movie. The only ones who don't like the movie are very trendy. Like they like trendy opinions. When The Force Awakens comes out, they have to love it. They have to love it before they even see The Force Awakens. For instance, this sets it up. I won't name who it is. When I talked to them about The Force Awakens before they saw it, because they hated the new Dragon Ball stuff. They despised all the new Dragon Ball stuff that came out. They hated Battle of Gods. They hated Resurrection F. They hated Super, and I don't even know if they saw Super, but they hated Super. They hated GT, especially GT, because GT is so trendy.
Take it easy there, Rob. It's Batman for Superman.
I'm going back to you're gonna. It's coming full circle. It will. I promise.
Yeah.
So they hate all the new stuff, which is pretty trendy in the Dragon Ball circles. It's pretty trendy to make fun of the Dragon Ball Super art. It's trendy to make fun of GT. It's trendy to hate Death Battle. I mean, we're hitting all of the DBZ fanboy marks here, all the casual fanboy marks too.
Yeah.
I mean, the ones that never read the manga, the ones that have used to watch it back in the day, but like all the trendy ones where it's like, you're a lukewarm DBZ fan, and that's fine, but you gotta apparently hate certain things for cred. So anyways, Force, after all that stuff, oh yeah, I don't like the new DBZ stuff. I'm gonna be coming, like they'll say things like, I'm really apprehensive about the new DBZ movie. They'll sort of already seem like they're gonna hate it before they even see it. And then with The Force Awakens, and with that, you could tell that when I figured, since we were on that level, I was like, okay, well, just giving you a heads up, The Force Awakens had a lot of problems because this guy was Mr. Pessimist about a lot of things that I saw. And then The Force Awakens comes out and they love it to death. They can't explain why they liked it. They even acknowledge a lot of the problems they had with it. And then I'm like thinking to myself, well, you can disagree. I guess we can disagree on certain things, but I just didn't think it was. I don't know. I didn't think it was too sincere.
It's like a complete 180 of like my reaction to this film. It's like the problems that they're acknowledging with The Force Awakens, like that cripples the movie for me. Like these problems seriously hurt the movie.
Yes.
Problems that
fundamental issues,
and it's minute to the people who love the film. Now it's a complete reversal. Now a lot of the complaints I'm hearing about this movie seem very minute to me. I still saw a lot of merit in this movie, a lot of things to love. The design, just so many strong things going on in this film. And there's even some strong things going on in Force Awakens. I did not hate that movie, neither did you, I mean, it wasn't a bad movie by any stretch, okay? It definitely, they put in the work, they put in the effort to bring the series back on track. But to us, we just kind of felt it was minimal. It was just kind of like they could have and should have done more. And the people just get really uppity and just when we say that, and like that, it's a completely reasonable observation. I mean, right. What did we say that was so outrageous, really?
Right. So, basically, so anyways, after all that stuff I explained about this guy, it always seemed like he was going to feel a certain way before he ever saw these things I'm talking about. Mm-hmm. So with that being said, now with this movie, when we talked about it, he had already been bashing it. Even before the reviews came out, when it was trendy to bash next, it's just Zack Snyder in general, the reviews were not even out yet. And he was like, I don't think I'm going to see it. I don't like Jesse Eisenberg. I don't like
so much.
This. I don't like Ben. He actually pointed out I didn't like Ben Affleck either. And I was just thinking to myself, like, yeah, you know what? Don't see the movie. You were gonna hate it anyways, even if it was great.
Yeah, I mean, that's low. It's low hanging fruit at best. Like just
you sharing stuff about how bad it was without even seeing it.
It's like just because you don't like an actor's style doesn't mean it's just like, oh, this movie is going to be bad because this actor I don't particularly like is in it. Like that's such a stupid view. Like just if you disagree with the direction of the character, that's one thing, but if you pay attention to what Jesse Eisenberg is doing, it's pretty objectively a good performance.
I loved it. Yeah,
he's animated. His eyes, his eyes are just crazy. He's so into it. He's chewing the fucking scenery. He is in this character, And it's not what you're expecting. It's not the 6 foot tall bald guy shaking his fist we all come to expect of Lex Luthor, but this was a refreshing take on the character. It did the Dark Knight Returns thing to do. It took this pre-existing character and just like, what traits can we amplify? Like, how can we update this character, for a more contemporary setting? And I think, people think it's a gag, that I'm making a joke, but I mean, I think it's a little accurate. This is kind of like the Martin Shkreli version of Lex Luthor. He's young, a little bit twisted, very cutthroat, ambitious, a bit obsessive. He is just wild. I love this character. People want to say that it's cheesy. People say that Willem Dafoe's Green Goblin is cheesy. I don't care. At the end of the day, you remember those lines. You remember him crashing in while Aunt May is saying the Lord's Prayer. Finish it!
Yep, yep.
I don't care if you think that movie's ridiculous. Even if you're the type of, you might worship the devil, but if you think that the Amazing Spider-Man movies are better than the Raimi films, you scare me. You scare me, but okay. Can you sincerely tell me that what the villains in Amazing Spider-Man 1 and 2 are nearly as memorable?
They're not remotely as remarkable. They're so forgettable. But yet, yeah, both major villains in the first 2 Spider-Man films, they're instantly quotable, recognizable. They're easy to remember.
Even 3 has moments. Three falters seriously. It's easily the weakest of the trilogy, but it still has plenty of positives. I fucking love when Harry Osborn is eating the pie and he disappears, vanishes behind the moving car, has the pie. So good. And he turns around and he winks at Peter and he disappears. It's ridiculous. It makes no sense, but I remember it.
Yeah,
it was a ballsy movie.
We got a question here from my friend here. He's under a different name that I know him for, but I recognize the photo. We're gonna go by his name on here unless he wants me to use his real name. Raven Stromdans. I'm sure I got the last name wrong. But Raven here says, "What do you guys think about the idea that this isn't Lex Luthor but his son?" Because he mentioned that he was Lex Jr.
I can see it. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if they're necessarily going to pursue it. Because here's the thing: Bryan Cranston was originally announced. It was confirmed he was considered for the role, and I'm glad they didn't because I really love the dynamic between this very young Lex Luthor, this middle-aged, sort of Batman, this old. I'm sorry, middle-aged, young-ish Superman, older than Lex. An older Batman. I really liked that. I don't know. I mean, I really enjoyed that. I think, but I think, yeah, absolutely. We could see Lex Senior, and that will be their way of sort of injecting the character in a different time period. I mean, we know that the Wonder Woman movie, it's going to be World War One. We know that these characters are going to be having escapades. These metahumans are going to be running around doing stuff in the past. So I would not rule out seeing Lex Senior, appearing in something like that.
I'm okay with it. I think that it looks like it's DC's way of playing safe with Jesse Eisenberg. That if he bombed somehow, which obviously he didn't, but if he didn't do that well of a job somehow, that they would always have the back door that was not really Lex. Right. I'm happy with Lex. I mean, I would have liked Bryan Cranston as well. I think he would have done a great job. I don't think anyone disagrees with that. But
totally.
I think that I'd like to see this Lex Luthor grow up with Superman. Kind of grow up with him. So I'm all right with what I've seen so far. Is it possible? Yeah, but since Jesse did such a great job, I don't think it's necessary, to be honest.
No, neither do I. I can see how they're giving themselves room for that because not only people are speculating, this older Lex, the real Lex, but people are also thinking about who this Jared Leto Joker in Suicide Squad could potentially be an ex Robin, that could have been a former Robin of Batman. There's that theory floating around, and I can kind of see it. They're kind of giving themselves wiggle room for setting up interesting stuff like that.
So that being said, If you guys want us to do more of these, let us know. I just noticed that we have crossed the hour mark, and I'd like to keep this around an hour.
Yes.
We got a lot accomplished, a lot covered today,
Yeah.
but I think that this would be a good cutoff point based on just how much time we've had on here. I had a complete blast. I am so happy that yet again we have managed to keep our watcher count relatively the same from last night.
Yeah.
I'm thinking that for our next episode, we're gonna we keep teasing The Force Awakens.
Yeah. I really want
teasing
to. I
it.
want to see it a second time because truly, like everything, you should go back and rewatch it. You gotta watch everything a second time. Like go back at because think about it, your expectations. If something goes against your expectations, like that's gonna affect your movie watching experience. And if you go into it a second time, knowing that there's no surprises, it's coming. If you go into it with that knowledge, you might see something you didn't before. You might, focus on something else.
But let us know in the event page or in the comments, what you'd like us to cover at some point.
We could even come back with this. Like, would you like to have like guests, debate us on this at some point?
We were talking about that particular podcast. You won't name any names at the moment, but one of the reasons we are doing this is in partially response to this, like, evil, angry, just this movie's such a bad just rant between four guys to just kick the crap out of this film, like, podcast. That's part of why we did it, like, because I don't think this movie remotely deserves half of the hatred it gets. And if maybe we could take two of their guys, and because we know them, and pit them against us, if you guys are down to see that.
Yeah, no, I would absolutely. I know my friend Alex is very interested in doing something like this. I was like, we want to make sure you got a decent quality mic. Me and Rob were a fan of these blue USB microphones.
Yeah.
I have a nice little audio isolator. It's foam. It's nice. Decent audio quality was what we strive for.
Yeah. So, I know at least one of the guys from the said podcast. We were friendly. We've worked with each other before in a couple shows. Nice guy. But I'm thinking about it now that based on how heated we are, both camps here, the ones that support and the ones that hate it, I'm wondering if this would be me sacrificing this person as a potential good friend. Collateral damage. But it's like, I'm kind of I don't know. I hope that we end up all being friends at the end of it.
Yeah.
But if there's something
it doesn't make me feel good. That it feels like my reputation is at stake from saying these things. Like people like, Keith, you are insane. You are the devil. You are Lex Luthor. You are just like what you are you are delusional. What are you? But it shouldn't be that way. It should not be that way. I think we can be civil and learn from each other's observations.
Oh, we got a post on the event wall from Andrew. He says, I am still pushing for Man of Steel because there is a lot of hate against that. And Watchmen. I remember all the negative reviews for that. It was just beautiful. I suggest those movies.
Oh, yes, absolutely. Watchmen, like I said, one of my favorite graphic novel. Consequently, one of my favorite comic book movies. It was, it followed pretty much like the novel to the T, like 95% of the time. Just didn't have the interdimensional squid. I understand why they didn't have the squid. I can understand test audiences like, I was with the movie, but then there was a weird squid. It didn't make any sense. I can see why they did that, but that's another time. We
got a comment from Singing in the Rain 92 about our theory about the battle. First, Liz says in all capital letters, "Do it." Singing in the Rain 92 says "Get along, save Martha," and then another one says Raven says you need a fifth person here as a moderator. And so
no, I need someone completely impartial. Like I clearly like. We need people who hate it. We need someone who just kind of thought it was so, and then we have us in the pro BVS camp.
I think we should
Need someone impartial to be the moderator.
It would be a hell of a throwdown verbally, and like we'll be as civil as physically possible. Trust me, we want to make sure we stay friends with these people.
Dude,
but if there was a battle that
we
could
should-
get intense,
we should be in costume for this. We could. Meanwhile, in the Hall of Justice,
yeah, right.
like us just like slamming our fists down. It's like it's good. It was bad. It was good. It was bad.
Right. Look at them. They're still sharing this. Look, the petition. They realize that the person in the picture, the petitioner, that's not even Zack Snyder, and they keep sharing it anyways. Like, apparently, like the the part of like the petition they've been sharing, a lot of the photos are not even of Zack. Like, I don't even want to. I didn't even get a chance to address that one. That's hysterical. Well, oh yeah, we gotta remove Zack Snyder. They're not like they're so motivated, but they don't want to do any fact checking, and they don't even realize that that's not even him in the photo.
Get your activist bullshit out of our movie. This stupid mentality, just this clickbait, fucking just think for yourself. That's all. That's all we want. That's all we fucking want. You don't have to like the movie, but just tell us.
I got a message from my friend just now. I don't mean to cut you off, but this is relevant. A friend of mine who messaged me after seeing the movie the first time, he really didn't like it. I just got a message from him again, and he said, I just saw it a second time. I liked it a lot more. And it was like, there you go. There you go.
Yes, we got one. Guys, this is a revolution. This is a grassroots movement. I think there's some symbolism here.
Right? Right?
This is like seriously, I get pumped up. I mean, I feel like this movie is kind of an underdog. Yes, I do feel more strongly, but even though I don't love the movie, even though I admit it has glaring issues, I'm more passionate about this movie because it is in fact the underdog. It has the odds stacked against it. I people want to keep this movie down. I say lift it up. I think people should see this movie. It's a good spectacle.
We got some comments. Are the comments up on your screen, by the way?
Yes. Dawn Justice v the Avengers. Wow.
Oh,
yes. I could really honestly. I
think it's better than Avengers.
You can do. Why don't we do? I mean, we could do a whole episode. Like just think about Man of Steel and BVS versus Avengers 1 and 2. Okay, look at it that way. Look at it that way. I mean, if we're really like seriously, we'll
have weak parts because we'll have Man of Steel would be basically like the weekend of ours versus the strong point is Avengers 1 and the weak point is Age of Ultron which is arguably the worst love story in all of comic books.
Oh god! We need. Oh god! We really needed to say this for another episode. Like
yes.
we're already. I think we've gone for a solid hour and a half. Actually,
a little over. Right. Let's call it a night here, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. That's why it's hard to say no because I'll look at the view count and there's still people checking it out.
Yeah, people, it's pretty cool. We have like an average about 9-10 people. Like it's fucking that's fantastic. They stay with us for like the entire length of a movie. That's pretty. That's kind of cool. Yeah, no, that's I do enjoy. I mean, we're doing these like we did this last night. We could keep this going. People, we should make like a page or something. Just have people like vote on a topic, that can tune in. We can have guests. Like shit. Like let's like. This is great.
Isn't it fun? Yeah, man. I'm glad you guys are having fun too. We'll figure out a name for this. Maybe we'll make a channel and maybe expect episodes pretty often.
Woohoo!
All right, guys. Thanks so much. We'll hear from you soon.
Nighty night.
Take care.